have that? Betsy has that? Do you have that? I think you dropped it.
Yeah, I'll sit with you guys.
Good morning. Good morning. There we go. Welcome and thank you for coming out on this Burry Day, of which we've had so many. Welcome to everybody here, the 20 or so at the Evening Star, those who are watching from home, and those who are at the Highlands. Glad to have you with us today. My name is Kurt Neufeld. I'm a member of the board, and I use he, him pronouns. It is my pleasure again to welcome you here, whether you are attending in person or again remotely. I'm repeating myself because I went off script. Sorry about that. What I can say is today is February 1st. We've gone through one whole month this year. We are going to be blessed with the Reverend Carolyn Eklund as our minister leading the service today. Today's reflection is entitled, I Ain't Got Weary Yet, The Blessings of Resilience. And our music will be performed by our own wonderful Will Bristol and our amazing choir. If you are new to the congregation today or just visiting, and you'd like more information, please visit our table in the back of the fellowship hall where they'd be happy to give you more information. And as we begin our service today, please silence your mobile devices. And once again, welcome.
Good morning. I'm Di Q, and I am part of the Wabanaki Awareness Group, and I'm going to read our land acknowledgement statement. UUCB is located on the ancestral homelands of the Wabanaki people, who have deep, enduring, and ongoing relationships with Brunswick's lands and waterways. We acknowledge the painful legacy of the region's colonial history and commit to better understanding it. We will work to recognize and welcome the presence and concerns of the Wabanaki, whose people and culture still live within and contribute to the vitality of this community we share. The Wabanaki Awareness Group's question this month is, what is the history of the Wabanaki homelands? You can find the answer on the poster in the church entryway. By highlighting this information, we hope to deepen our understanding of this region's colonial history and its continuing impact on the Wabanaki.
May the light of peace, truth, and love shine in the darkness, and may darkness not overcome it. Thank you for your warm welcome. It's so good to be back. You have an abiding and generous spirit and an abiding and generous support of Tedford Housing, and I thank you as president of the board. I see in the announcements that there's a call for the Meal a Month volunteers, so you've done that for years, and I thank you for that. We have a new dining room in the new shelter, so it's very wonderful to be there. And I want to thank the 3 volunteers who made it possible for the warming center to stay open last Sunday all day. Other places were closed, and the warming center was able to stay open because of these volunteers. So I thank Hank, Patrick, and Carl. I loved working with you last Sunday morning. And I thank all of you for your generosity. Amen.
Sounds like freedom. Sounds like freedom. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like freedom. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like freedom. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like justice. Sounds like justice. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like justice. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like justice. Somebody's calling my name. One more time. Sounds like justice. Sounds like justice. Sounds like justice. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like justice. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like justice. Somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. What shall I do? You may be seated.
Good morning. I'm not Tobin Cooney Calnan. He's way funnier than I am. I'm Irene Austin. I use she, her pronouns, and I am looking for the young people in our congregation who would like to come up and hear a story today. You can bring a grown-up with you if you wish. Yeah, come on up. Oh, hooray. They just keep coming. It's one of my favorite times in the service. I just love seeing them come. Nice to see you all. So today I have a story that Tobin left for me. It's actually Reverend Carolyn's very special book. It has a lot of words. So I'm not going to read them all. Don't panic. But I'm going to read a lot of them. But first, I think we just need to know something. I wonder if anybody knows what segregation means or integration. What do you think, River?
Well,
Beautiful, beautiful. So I know you couldn't all hear what River said, but he said segregation is like separation, and maybe by skin color, right? Yeah, or other things. And integration is when those different parts come together and they're equal. Well, this story was written in 1960, and for a long time, there had been segregation, so like black kids and white kids couldn't go to school together. Doesn't really make sense, does it? No. It made a lot of sense. Some people thought it didn't. They thought black children and white children could learn together and that the schools should be equal. So what if I said to you, okay, if you have blue eyes, raise your hand if you have blue eyes. Then you guys get a special treat today. But everybody else, sorry, you got brown eyes or some other color eyes? Nope, sorry, no treat for you. How would you feel? You'd sad if you didn't. How would you feel if you had the brown eyes? You'd feel rebellious. Why? Or what if I said you would feel poor? What if I said if you have blonde hair? No. What if I said you had brown hair and I would give you a kitten or a puppy? Ooh. Raise your hand if you got brown hair. Well, mine is brown underneath all that. Well, I'm not really going to do that. But you can see how some things, I know. I'm just giving an example. Some things feel really unfair and not equal. And even though when this story was written, things were changing for the better, we still have this problem today. Anyway, this book, I'm going to ask River to be my helper. Thank you. Sit behind me. River, can you hop up? River's going to show the pictures while I read the story. Oh, I want to talk about another word. That's tempest. Anybody know what a tempest is? Ooh, Holden. That's okay. Anybody else know what a tempest is? It's a storm, like a really wicked strong storm. So when you hear me say the word tempest, you guys all say storm. Okay, so listen for that word. The book is called Small Shoes, Great Strides. How 3 brave girls opened doors to school equality. So they were some of the first black children to go to an all-white school. This was written by Vonda Michaud Nelson and illustrated by Alex Bostic. Thanks, River. This is where we're starting. It was just the 3 of them and Miss Florence Myers. Most times, only rich kids have a teacher to themselves. I'm reading from here, so you can just show the picture. Sorry, I did not explain that well. Most times, only rich kids have a teacher all to themselves. Leona Tate, Tessie Prevost, and Gail Etienne were not rich. Yet here they were, a teacher all to themselves, a classroom all to themselves, a school all to themselves. Teachers in every classroom, but no students. Just Leona, Tessie, and Gail in Miss Meyer's first grade class. Some people were angry about it. They surrounded the school every day, carrying signs, shouting, and spitting. Ugh. Most of those people would have been white people. They didn't like it that the black students were coming to their school, so they were yelling mean things and holding up signs and spitting. Ooh. But Leona, Tessie, and Gail didn't hear or see much of the commotion outside. Their classroom windows were covered with brown paper, and recess was held inside. Strange, but this all felt normal now. Months before, 6-year-olds Leona, Tessie, and Gail couldn't have known what lay ahead when they got ready for their first day at McDonough number 19 Public School. They are, and I'll show you pictures of them at the end, they are still alive. Leona Tate, this is Leona. Leona Tate's heart felt light as Mama helped her put on a sweater. She was glad to be leaving her crowded old school. Her dress was starched and pressed, her hair ribbon tied just right. Soon a black sedan pulled up out front of the house, and 2 United States Marshals, they're kind of like sheriffs and stuff, stepped out. Leona had always walked to school with Mama. Today, she was getting a ride. When you get in the car, sit back in the seat, Leona's mother said. Do not put your face to the window. Mama took her hand and they followed the marshal to the car. Wonder why she said, don't put your face to the window. Not far from where Leona lived, another U.S. Marshal knocked on Tessie Prevost's front door. Marshals would drive Tessie to school today, too. Mrs. Prevost told one of the lawmen, I'm giving you my baby. This is my baby. This is my job, he replied, and I'm going to take care of this baby. You don't have to worry. Her mother was afraid, but Tessie wasn't. There we go. So there they are going up into school. Can you see all these people down here with signs that are saying things like segregation only? Why are the girls allowed in the school? All the other kids are allowed in the school too, but listen to what happens, okay? As the girls entered the school, the white mob kept across the street by police booed. A smaller group of black supporters being held toward the back of the school cheered and applauded. It was November 14th, 1960, a landmark day for New Orleans and the state of Louisiana. 3 little girls in ankle socks and Sunday shoes made history just by going to school. That's because they're the first black children going to that school. The United States Supreme Court, which is the highest court in the land, had ruled that it was wrong to separate students because of their skin color. School districts were ordered to integrate, to put black and white children together and make sure everyone got the same education. That sounds fair. In New Orleans, the parents of 137 black first graders applied to have their children transferred to all white schools. School board officials didn't want integration. Remember, that's that word that means everybody being together. So they designed an approval process requiring a series of tests most children couldn't pass, but Leona, Tessie, and Gail excelled. At 9:15 on that historic morning, they were the first black children to enter McDonough 19 Public School. Thanks, you're doing a great job. School had started in September, so the other children were already in class. Leona, Tessie, and Gail were taken to Miss Myers's first grade classroom. At last, their school day could begin. But just as the girls took their seats, the white students started leaving. Their moms and dads rushed in, and one by one, they took them out. Some of the kids wanted to stay, but their parents pulled them from their desks saying, "Come on, let's go." By the end of the school day, the only children in Miss Myers's first grade classroom were Leona, Tessie, and Gail. It was the same the next day, and the next day, and the next day. By the end of the week, they were the only children left in the entire school. All of the teachers at McDonough 19 kept coming to school to work, but only Miss Myers had students to teach. Protesters, these are the people with signs who are want to say what they think. Protesters continued gathering outside the school each day. They booed and shouted ugly words. They believed black children and white children should not learn together. Rowdy teenagers skipped school to be part of the angry mob. Through it all, Leona, Tessie, and Gail got up every morning and went to school. Must have been brave. They must have been a little scared walking past all those people. At recess, the girls stayed indoors. The playground was not safe. They brought their lunches and ate in the classroom or under a nearby stairwell. Miss Myers was kind and caring. She would eat her lunch with them, and she sat nearby during recess. She looked after them a lot and kept them safe. The deputy U.S. Marshals guarded the girls too. They escorted each of them to school and waited there to take them home at the end of the day. Each kept a court order in his pocket that said that no one could keep the girls from going to school. The marshals were kind, but they never lost focus of the dangerous job they were there to do, to protect Leona, Tessie, and Gail. Even outside of school, the girls needed protection. One night, some white women drove by and threw a rock at Leona's mama while she was sitting on her own porch. So at night, local police kept watch over each of the girls' family from squad cars parked in the dark outside the girls' homes. Tessie had a fenced-in yard, so she could go out. I'm sorry. Because they are the first black children to go to an all-white school, and some people are really angry about it. Tessie had a fenced-in yard, so she could go outside after school and play with her dog, a beagle named Mike. But Leona and Gail had to stay inside because it was safer. It's like a jail, Leona said. She sometimes spent weekends with her aunt and uncle in a different part of town. Police watched over her there too. Protesters telephoned the girls' families and threatened them. The families changed their phone numbers again and again, but somehow people got the new ones. "You should be ashamed," Tessie's grandma Dora told callers. "Does your preacher know you're doing this?" The girls received lots of mail, and most of the messages were comforting, some even beautiful, like songs of praise. Others were hateful. Mail was not delivered to their homes, but taken to the local office of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. That's a long name. It's called the NAACP, and they work on behalf of people who are black and brown. Members of the NAACP read the letters before giving them to the girls' families. Leona, Tessie, and Gail saw only the cheerful ones. Cards and messages came from all over the world and in many languages. Even former First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt sent a letter of encouragement and hope. Meanwhile, at City Hall, at school board offices, and in other parts of New Orleans, police broke up daily clashes between white and black citizens, those for or against school integration. Some people were badly hurt and had to be taken to the hospital. Hundreds were arrested, including teenagers. Despite the tempest storm, the girls were happy to go to school. Miss Myers' classroom was their shelter in the storm. They ate together, played together, and learned together. The girls' friendship grew strong. For their entire first grade year, the three girls remained the only students at McDonough 19, with one exception. In January of 1961, a white family dared to send their two upper elementary age sons to McDonough. Protesters were furious. They thought all white families should take part in the boycott and keep their children out of McDonough 19. They took their signs and shouts to the home of the two boys and to where their father worked. The two attended only a few days before their family was forced to leave town. Second grade, again, began with Leona, Tessie, and Gail as the only students at McDonough 19. But after the Christmas holiday, things changed. About 25 new students arrived at the school. All but one were first graders, and only 2 were white. A single white girl joined the second grade class. Leona, Tessie, and Gail were excited to go outside for recess and play with other kids in the schoolyard. Protesters were mostly gone, and so were the U.S. Marshals. Windows were uncovered, and the girls were allowed to eat lunch in the cafeteria. The girls formed a bond that has never broken. Over time, the girls grew to be as close as sisters. They became known as the McDonough Three, and they continue to stay in touch and support one another to this day. They would probably be in about their 70s now. Leona, Tessie, Gail, and pioneers like them helped to open doors so all children could receive the education they deserve, so no one could ever again say, "You can't go to school here because of the color of your skin." They paved the way for white children and black children to sit side by side, learning with and from each other. There's still work to do in schools across the nation, but Leona Tate, Tessie Prevost, and Gail Etienne, with courage and dignity, made a lasting difference. These 3 unlikely leaders in small shoes took great strides for us all. So, I'm going to show you some pictures of them. A person wrote it. I'll show it to you at the end. Let's see. I also love this story because it shows that even little children, kids, can make a big difference in the world. And I think that you all have courage and spirit, and that makes me so hopeful for the future. So here's Leona. That's what she looks like now. And here's Tessie and Gail. All right. You have been so amazing to sit and listen for so long. I really appreciate that. We are going to sing you out to your classes. Have a great rest of your day.
Good morning, I'm Renee Manamitis, one of the pastoral care associates. She, her pronouns. This notebook is available in the rear of the sanctuary on the right on a lectern where you may record the joy or concern you would like included in the community prayers. Please write in the notebook before the service begins or send it by email to joysandconcerns@uubrunswick.org. If you would like to talk with one of us after the service, look for the light blue ribbons on our name tags. Our names are also in the order of worship. We would be happy to meet with you here or meet with you later. We offer a listening ear and our presence. As you'll hear, some of these are both joys and concerns. Adair de la Mater is recovering from shoulder replacement surgery. She is thankful for your healing thoughts. And a bittersweet joy. Suzanne and Pam Wright, relieved that dear friend Melissa has ended her 7-year struggle with stage 4 colon cancer. She passed peacefully surrounded by family. She was an extraordinary person. She will be missed. Joyful her pain is past, and sorrow to lose such a bright light. Thinking of the youth march on the bridge in Bath tomorrow, hoping all goes well, and the high school students from Bath, Brunswick, and other towns are empowered. For concerns, my friend gets jaw surgery on Wednesday. While I'm not necessarily concerned, still wishing her well, written by Sri. And Lee Parento writes, thank you all so much for your kind words, your healing thoughts, and your prayers for Julie this past year. As you know, her response to treatment has been very positive until recently, when a CT scan showed additional lesions on her lungs. We are waiting for the results of a PET scan. Julie, as well as the rest of the family, is devastated. Please keep Julie in your thoughts and prayers as she fights for her life. Jane Danielson writes, my niece, Gretchen Pick, who lives in Minneapolis in the same neighborhood where Renee, Nicole Good, and Alex Preddy were murdered, writes this. ICE raids here in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and communities around our state continue non-stop. Many local businesses have their doors locked and let customers in one by one. Parents have organized patrols for drop-off, pickup, and recess. Kidnappings at bus stops, gas stations, and street corners are becoming more and more indiscriminate. At least 4 Lakota people have been detained, and 3 are still missing. Many citizens and green card holders have been detained, and some have been brutalized. In response, thousands of people across the state are mobilized and responding in real time. A rapid response network has now trained 26,000 people to observe, document, and de-escalate in response to ICE presence. The constitutionally protected right of observation, de-escalation, and community safety is a key part of the strength of the response here. I am stunned that this is happening, but grounded in hope by our actions. There is so much joy, so much solidarity, so much courage on display across our communities. Then she quotes from Václav Havel, hope is the deep orientation of the human soul that can be held at the darkest times.
For all those on our hearts and our minds, we ask, gracious God, that you tend the sick, give rest to the weary, bless the dying and the dead, soothe the suffering, pity the afflicted, and shield the joyous, all for your love's sake.
Resilience, we are strong. Resilience, we are strong. Shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on. Shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on. Resilience, make a new plan. Stand up again and say, yes, we can. Resilience, Make a new plan. Stand up again and say, yes, we can. Resilience. We are strong. Shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on. Resilience. Make a new plan. Stand up again and say, yes, we can. Resilience. We are strong. Shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on. Resilience. Make a new plan. Stand up again and say, yes, we can. Resilience. Just sing that. Resilience. Sing it again. Resilience. One more time. Resilience. And harmonize. Resilience.
Hello, everyone. I'm Miriam Uduabor. My pronouns are they, them, and she, her. I'm going to read Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard? 'Cause I laugh like I got gold mines digging in my own backyard? You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, and you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.
The song the choir is going to sing next is a piece by the composer Sarah Lynch Thomason, who wrote this in 2016 in North Carolina when that state passed a bill saying that people have to use the same bathroom matching the sex on their birth certificate. They wrote this as a protest and as a form of resilience for what may follow, for the future and all of the anxiety that we may hold for all of the changes yet to come. These words say, "There are more waters rising, this I know, there are more waters rising. They will find their way to me, this I know. There are more fires burning, this I know. They will find their way to me, this I know. There are more mountains falling, this I know. They will find their way to me, this I know. But I will wade through the waters, this I know. I will walk through the fires, this I know. I will rebuild the mountains when they find their way to me, this I know.
That was stirring. Thank you. Beautiful. Good morning. I'm Carolyn Eklund. I'm she, her. I'm a retired Episcopal priest and a grateful neighbor of this justice called faith community. Thank you for inviting me back to worship with you. When Mary Larson contacted me and told me that embodying resilience was the theme for this month, I immediately started singing the words to I Ain't Got Weary Yet, an African American spiritual. I sing it almost every day. The spiritual is significant to me because a video of it was the first thing that was posted on my Facebook feed that I no longer use, but I was glad for this. My Facebook feed the day right after the 2024 election. The recording is of the Morehouse College Men's Glee Club. It's spectacular. And I now have played it over and over, hundreds of times, it seems like. I'm going to try to sing it. I ain't got weary yet. I've been in the wilderness a mighty long time, and I ain't got weary yet. Oh, I've been praying like Silas. I've been praying like Paul. I've been serving my Lord a mighty long time, and I ain't got weary yet. Thank you. So I experienced these words in the context of enslaved people almost as a dare to their enslavers, to oppressors. I am not defeated. I've got my Lord to pick me up, turn me around, and set my feet on solid ground. No, I ain't got weary yet. I ain't got weary yet. I call it resilience on steroids. So resilience in the dictionary gives us words like flexibility, adaptability, restoration. I love making a new plan. I love all these definitions. Almost at this point seem anemic for what the spiritual communicates. I'm reframing these modern definitions, I think, to lay claim to a people facing centuries of deep injustice day after day, as enslaved people did, and poor people, brown immigrants, brown Native Americans, all for whom the system tries to keep at the bottom of the social order. A phrase like, I ain't got weary yet, is resilience as an enduring, noble presence in a wilderness. It's a shine a light into the darkness of this world. It celebrates rootedness in community. Currently, we as a nation are a community struggling against chronic injustices, lawless elected officials and their mob enacting floods of corruption. Last night at the Bowdoin Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. lecture, academic and author Tressie McMillan Cottom stated, even before she arrived at the lectern, the truth of history, that at least that was one of the few heartening things, that this is common in history, but that what we are experiencing in our day is what has been experienced is not new in history. It has many of these stories. So as a person of faith and a lover of Scripture, my favorite prophet of Hebrew Scripture is Jeremiah. He's called the weeping prophet because he called out the lawlessness, the social degradation, and the corruption of kings of ancient Israel. They didn't like it, and they exiled him to another country where he died alone. We know this. Those in power do not like the truth. They really don't like the truth recorded on phones or written on blogs, disseminated broadly. They don't like it spoken out loud. And yet, we need truth tellers, and truth tellers need community. That's what strengthens them. And that's where resilience is embodied, in the community of truth tellers. Our Black neighbors are the weeping prophets of our time. The truth about racism in our country comes mostly from their voices. Black women in particular are truth tellers. Maya Angelou's poem, Still I Rise, thank you, is a breathtaking example of noble resilience. When I read this poem, I hold the sin and shame of this country as a white person. Thank you, Miriam, so much for your beautiful reading of Still I Rise. So this is the verse I pay attention to most as a white woman. Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear the tide. 400 years later, and still not free like white people, a brilliant black woman writes these proud words, I'm a black ocean leaping and wide. Leaping, what a profound bit of energy and resilience come from those words. Leaping and wide is so majestic next to the weaknesses and cowardices of white supremacy's ice. We heard this beautiful witness today, so moving, of what's going on in Minneapolis. Currently, the response to the violent chaos of ICE is not returned violence by the group that's organized. What we're seeing is neighbor care. Neighbor care is the hallmark of their peaceful resistance, and it has been since the neighborhoods organized after the murder of George Floyd. Now these trained neighbors are expanding, and are being deployed to warn the targeted police, the targeted people of ICE. They, like we heard, organize food deliveries and help keep house payments and health insurance payments current for those who can't leave their homes. The murders of citizens peacefully protesting is meant to cause terror and fear. But the neighbors are well connected, they're resilient, they're wise, and they're organized. So Nani Soifer's here. I met Nani in Atlanta, Georgia, for a week-long driving trip through the South to visit civil rights sites. You may know we are witnessing the rapid dismantling of the truth of civil rights by our own government. The history of black people is meant to be destroyed. Nani and I wanted to be sure to make this pilgrimage now. In Memphis, we visited the new Bayard Rustin exhibit of his personal effects at the National Museum of Civil Rights. Get all the information you can about this guy. What brilliance. Resilient human being. And this exhibit was a display of 15 pages of his handwritten, detailed plan of the March on Washington. He wrote it in that kind of detail in 1947. 1947. He's called the architect of the March on Washington, which actually happened, and he executed in 1963. Black, openly gay, and Quaker, Bayard Rustin pressed on for freedom and not for notoriety. So as we walked through the rest of the museum, I watched two little black boys running around like they loved and owned the place, which they did. When they saw the life-size Montgomery bus that helps tell the story of Rosa Parks, they shouted with delight. It was like a ride at a park or something. They shouted with delight and immediately boarded it. And Nani and I were sitting there listening to the recording telling us the history. And suddenly, well, the boys were running up and down the aisle having a blast. Suddenly, the recording was of a fictitious bus driver saying something like, "Move to the back of the bus. Move now to the back of the bus." The boys stopped and looked to see where the voice was coming from. And I said something like, "Don't listen to the voice, sit in the front." And they're like, "I don't care, we're just going to keep running." They owned the place. Another place we visited was the New Orleans 9th Ward. And our friend Joanne Rosenthal suggested that we visit the site of the McDonough 19 Elementary School, which had been standing empty for decades after our darling story, those 3 black girls were sent to integrate it. Most of the 9th Ward, as we may know, was devastated by Hurricane Katrina in 2005, and there was still evidence of destroyed homes unclaimed. In 2021, one of the little girls, now grown, Leona Tate, she retired and moved back to the 9th Ward. She applied for and received historic site designation of the McDonough 19 building. She raised funds to support its restoration, and we walked through it and saw the room where the 3 little girls sat by themselves with their teacher and the U.S. Marshals, all in order to integrate the New Orleans school system. It's such a downer to hear how wicked and vicious white people can be, parents of children can be, and it's truth-telling. It's truth-telling. The mission of the current foundation is to teach about the history of desegregation in the South, and I love that we all sat together and heard the story from the children's book. So on the long drive from Birmingham to Memphis, Nani found recordings of her favorite civil rights and blues artists on her device. I think we sang along a little bit too. She played them for us along the way, and one of those songs was "We Shall Not Be Moved," civil rights song, "We Shall Not Be Moved." We shall not be moved. We shall not be, we shall not be moved like a tree planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Well, guess where this song came from? Came from the weeping prophet Jeremiah in the Hebrew scriptures. Like a tree planted by the water, we shall not be moved is just such a noble, hopeful verse in Jeremiah. And the tree, I think, is a great metaphor for embodying resilience. Trees do stand nobly. They facilitate light. They facilitate oxygen. They refresh themselves every year. And they're activated by rootedness. And that's like this faith community, like a tree standing in the water, rooted in justice, rooted in care for each other and your neighborhood. And like us, that's how, like a tree, we go forth and we are justice-oriented and rooted with each other. I thank you for your wonderful witness to this town and to this country. Thank you.
I'm Mary Larson, Worship Associate for this service. I use she, her pronouns. This is the time in our service where we receive your offering. All non-cash, or all cash, non-pledge offerings are shared with a charity with soul, and this month's charity is the very much needed Mid-Coast Hunger Prevention. Please give generously. Please join me in our congregational response. May these offerings sustain and grow the work of this church, weaving a tapestry of love and action.
Please rise in body or spirit for our closing song. Before that.
Yeah, well, I have to set you up first. So this is a reading of the full reading of the prophet from the book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 17, verses 7 and 8. But blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in him. They will be like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when heat comes. Its leaves are always green. It has no worries in a year of drought. It never fails to bear fruit.
That's planted by the water, we shall not be moved. We're fighting for our future. We're fighting for our future. We shall not be moved. For our children. We're fighting for our children. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. We're calling for compassion. We're calling for compassion. We shall not be moved. We're calling for compassion. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. We're all in this together. We're all in this together. We shall not be moved. We're all in this together. We shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. One more time. We shall not be moved. Just like a tree, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be
So my closing words are, fear not, another favorite phrase, fear not. Send out our roots of compassion and justice, and always bear good fruit. Amen.
Because we are intentional about building the beloved community here, it's important for us to engage in the practice of invitation. We genuinely want you to know that you are welcome to become involved in our community beyond our Sunday worship. The QR code on the screen will take you to a digital copy of our announcement sheets, several copies of which are available on the harvest table if you prefer something tangible. Here are a few things we want to make sure to highlight. Today's the last chance to get the tickets at the concert table for this coming Saturday's Concert for a Cause, starting our very own superstar Judd Caswell and his equally talented friend Lisa Redfern. While supporting our friends and warming your souls, you will also be supporting our two charities, Immigrant Legal Advocacy Project and Oasis Free Clinics. The UUCB Growth Task Force and Board of Trustees want to thank you for your willingness to support our discernment about growth, specifically with our current satellite location experiment, your willingness to attend worship occasionally at the Evening Star Cinema or at the Theater at the Highlands, if you're a resident of the Highlands or Highland Green, have helped us tremendously. We've been able in the past few weeks to welcome newcomers without asking them to stand or sit in an overflow room. We will continue the Evening Star streaming at least through March 15th as we determine a long-term plan. Coffee hour. To help our coffee hour volunteers prepare and serve safely, we ask that the kitchen be reserved for our volunteers and their helpers from the start of coffee hour preparation through the end of coffee hour. During that time, please enjoy socializing in the sanctuary, and thank you for making coffee hour welcoming for everyone. And now, we'd like to give you those seated in the back section of our back session to cut the line for coffee, while the others of you linger just a few moments to enjoy conversation with your neighbors. This will allow us to stack your chairs in order to make more space for socializing. And we have heard that it's really making a positive difference. This should only take a few minutes. Thank you all for your patience as we experiment together. And thank you, Reverend Carolyn, for a beautiful service. So enjoy, greet your neighbors, stay warm.